Hello, we're reconvening to open session right now. And right now, we'll ask the clerk of the board, were there any actions taken in closed session?
Yes, there was one. So let me share it with you. Dak is abstaining. The board took action in closed session to affirm the stipulated disciplinary unpaid suspension of a permanent classified custodian employee and has authorized the chancellor or designee to take all the steps necessary to effect this decision.
Okay, thank you so much. And right now, we're going to have the invocation led by trustee Barbara Jay, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by trustee Carolyn Inman. And just so you know what the schedule will be at the beginning of the meeting, the administration of office for the four newly elected trustees, and then the organizational meeting. And after the organizational meeting, we're going to read the comments from the public. So just so you know that when that will be done. Thank you. So right now, we're having the invocation led by trustee Barbara Jay, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by trustee Carolyn Inman.
Our Heavenly Father, we come to you in gratitude for this wonderful season that is upon us, a season of light, a season of giving, of sharing, of love, of family, and of joy, a season of sincere gratitude for being able to worship to the dictates of our hearts, a season to be kind, to be respectful of all people, of all beliefs, and to treat everyone with love and with deep understanding and appreciation. We ask your guidance in following the principles laid down in the classic hymn by songwriters Jill Jackson and Cy Miller, who said, "Let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Amen."
Thank you. The Pledge of Allegiance, please. Ready, begin.
Thank you. So now we're going to have the administration of the oath of office to the new and newly elected trustees. And, yes? Oh, we're doing the soccer team first.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you. I am modeling the way because I had a close contact exposure, so I'm wearing my mask. So hopefully you could hear me. So I am very excited to be able to share that in our midst we have state and national champions among us with our women's soccer team at Saddleback College. Yes, state and national.
Oh, look at
I know I was able to go out to a game and watch them play, and they are a force to be reckoned with. So I will go ahead and turn it over to President Stern.
Thank you, Chancellor Barnes. As you heard, these are not only the state champions this year for women's soccer, but they are ranked #1 in the nation. #1 in the nation. They have put to rest a 7-year streak for Saddleback not having a state championship, and I am so glad that that streak was put to rest by these amazingly brilliant and fierce women. So thank you all. We're very happy for you, and so glad you play at Saddleback. At this time, I would like to introduce their amazing coach, BJ McNichol for him to introduce his team and these powerful, great women. BJ.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute dream season. And as a coach, when you get to this point, you just look back and it's so humbling and there's so many people to thank. So I want to just take a second to just thank some of you right now. Thank you, the board, for helping us have such an amazing facility. It's a truly amazing place to play, and these women certainly shine there. It's really special. So thank you for that. I want to thank President Stern. We were up there with 8 other colleges. I don't know if every president came and took the time to send their team off. And I know our president was sending us nice messages throughout the tournament, and it really was awesome to feel that love from the campus. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. That was amazing. And we've also got Dan Kloss, who's our Dean and Athletics Director. He has a lot of championships in soccer coming from Cerritos on both the men's and women's side, and we're very happy to finally provide him one as a Saddleback Bobcat. So he's been an amazing supporter of us. He was up there in the cold and wet and helped us get everything we needed to be successful. So thank you guys so much. All right, so ladies, we'll go through real quick. I'm going to have you give us your name and the high school you went to, and then I'll say a little something about you.
Okay, my name is Sammy and I went to El Toro High School.
So Sammy, little, but we call her Sammy the Bull. She is one of our captains for the past 2 years. She's an absolute wrecking ball. She literally played until both of her calves cramped up on that last goal. It was really powerful to see, and she's just been an amazing teammate. She's taken this team under her wing, and we just love her to death. So thank you, Sammy the Bull. Aaliyah comes to us actually as a transfer from Santiago Community College, so we're very happy to have her as a Bobcat. She transferred in the spring and was able to do our futsal curriculum here. She's actually the #1 futsal player in the entire team. We do week-to-week polls, and she ended up as the best at the end of the semester, and so we love her so much. She's been such an instrumental part of our group. She's a tireless worker. She's just been really amazing to have, so thank you so much.
You know, this is fabulous, but if the players could come up to the microphone, then they'll be able to hear it on the video and be able to watch it later, because otherwise it won't be heard on the video.
Love it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so starting with Abby, come on up. Abby loves that she's the first one that has to say it on the mic.
Good idea.
I'm Abby and I went to Capistrano Valley High School.
Great.
Abby is a tireless worker. She is a bull in a china shop. When you put her out there, she is just such a force. Great left foot. She scored probably one of the goals of the years against OCC, and just a great kid, super hardworking, a freshman, so we get her one more year. So we're very excited. Thank you, Abby. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Carly, and I went to Dana Hills High School.
Great.
Carly. Carly redshirted with us this year and came to everything she possibly could. She was a huge supporter. She trains with us every day. She was great in the weight room in the off season and is just a wonderful kid. Another one that we get for next year. So we're very, very excited to have Carly back.
I'm Yaya, and I went to Pacifica High School.
So Lizbeth, who we call Yaya, she came with a big group from Pacifica, and she is just a mighty player on the field. She's like a little Messi. She's a Ronaldo fan, so I like to give her the dig on Messi. But she's incredibly talented with the ball at her feet. It's like glued to her foot. She's incredibly hard to mark. She was the offensive MVP for the entire Orange Empire Conference. So we love her to death. Good job, y'all.
I'm Zoe, and I went to Pacifica High School.
I promise they're much louder than this on the bus ride home. We can send you some videos. It's very different. Zoe is an absolute phenomenal player. She plays a very tough role, which is called the 6, which is very back and forth. Like, you have to be a part of the defense, you have to be a part of the offense, you have to do all of it, and it almost never shows up in the stats. She actually takes all of our free kicks and corner kicks. She works her tail off every game, and we love her. She is another one of our All-American players, so thank you so much, Zoe Chung.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I went to El Toro High School.
Nice. Another one from El Toro. She plays as a center back, can play out on the wide part of the defense as well. She was an awesome player for us this year. She worked extremely hard, extremely great in the classroom. I think she's going to be one of our 4.0 students. And we get her one more year too, so it's another one that we get to carry on the tradition. So thank you, Olivia. Avalon.
Hi, I'm Avalon. I went to Lisa Miguel High School.
Perfect. And Avalon, we actually got back from Cal Lutheran, so she's a transfer player that came in. She's another one that we're going to get next year as well. Can play in the midfield, serves in great corners, so we're very excited to have her in fall of 23.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and I went to San Juan Hills High School.
Nice, Kylie LeBlanc. So Kylie, actually, I was walking behind our stadium and she came out. She actually ran track and field here as well. And so we were able to connect and have her join our family. So we've had a lot of our girls go out and play other sports at Saddleback, and she's one that was able to come and join us. So a very athletic kid, super hardworking, and she was an awesome addition to our squad. So thank you, Kylie. Kylie View.
Hi, I'm also Kylie, and I went to Pacifica High School.
So Kylie, Kylie, you're gonna have to come back up for a second, sorry. So Kylie, another player from Pacifica, had an amazing 2 years here. She's such an amazing kid. She was absolutely on fire through the playoffs. She scored, I think, 3 out of the 5 games. She had the game winner, and she just was so impressive. We're so happy for her. She was recently named the National Player of the Year. So congratulations, Kylie. She was also the Final Four MVP. So we're super happy for her, and thanks so much, Kylie.
Hi, I'm Avery, and I also went to Pacifica High School.
Avery doesn't love speaking into the mic either, but that was very good. That was your best since the 2 years I've known you. Avery is a freakishly good athlete. She plays a left back and plays it like another forward. She's insane. She actually led the team in assists as a left fullback. That just does not happen. And so she's been extremely impressive to watch. She's been a real joy to coach, extremely hardworking. It's between Sammy and her that are pound for pound the strongest kids on the team. In the offseason, they outworked everybody in the weight room. So super humbled to have worked with you. Thank you so much. Next, Alyssa Sims.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Sims, and I went to Newport Harbor High School.
Alyssa Sims, we got back from Colorado, another captain. She is amazing public speaker. Actually, she should probably be doing what I'm doing. She is a great center back. If you ever came to our games, you watched our long throws. They're like another kick. They're like another corner kick or a free kick. Amazingly dangerous to play off of and really beat teams down and is a great organizer, a great teammate, a great captain, great person. Thank you so much, Alyssa Sims. Next, Liv.
Hi, my name is Liv, and I went to Elisa Miguel High School.
So Olivia, we've had for 2 years now. She came from one of the best club teams in the area, from the Blues. She had an awesome first season with us. She probably would arguably have one of the saves of the year against Santiago this year, which was a huge one on the road. So she's been a great supporter of us and a great teammate, a great captain. So we're super excited to see where she lands next. Jamie Lynn.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I went to Tesoro.
Another one that's not that quiet, I promise. Came back from playing a year in New York. We were able to gather, and between our goalkeeper trio, our goalkeeper union, they were amazing this year. Because to see them train and warm up for our games is really amazing. Because as a keeper, it's just such hard work, and they supported each other the entire time. It was really fun to watch, and she had some amazing saves as well. So thank you so much, Jamie Lynn. Choli.
I'm Chloe, and I went to Esperanza High School.
So we got Chloe from Esperanza. The first home game that we had announced, they actually mispronounced her name Choli, and we just didn't want to correct it. So she's basically Choli to us now. But no, Chloe Green is one of the most talented forwards I think we have on the team. Is a freshman, is already getting looked at by four-year schools. She was instrumental in getting either an assist or a goal in the biggest games of our season. So super excited to get her for one more year too. Congrats, girl.
I'm Lacey, and I went to Fountain Valley High School.
Lacey, who we call Big Game Lacey, because when you need a big goal in the big moments, Lacey will get it for you. A tireless worker, great teammate. She was willing to start, but she was also willing to come off the bench and play minutes when you needed them, and was a great teammate throughout. Had a great mentality. She never had to get ready because she stayed ready, and when you needed her, you could call on her. So, Big Game Lace, it's been a privilege coaching you. Thank you so much.
My name's Dublin, and I played at Kappa Valley High School.
Dublin is the last of our goalkeeper union. In that final game, if you go back and watch it, the goal mouth area is an absolute mud pit, and Dublin was right down in there. She did not mind it one bit. She was soaking wet, covered in dirt, ready to go. Even though she's a redshirt player that wasn't going to feature in that game, she gave everything to that warm-up. She gave everything to push our players, and it's just been an amazing keeper for us. So we're super excited to have her for one more year as well. Just so happy for you guys. It's been an amazing run. I mean, I know 5 of you are off to Fresno State tomorrow to get an official tour. I know I'm getting emails nonstop across the country. I'm over the moon at how well you guys have done. So thank you. My assistant coaches in the back, Coach Cole Phipps and Sean Melendez. When you're our age, a 9.5 hour bus ride home from Sacramento is actually a little tough on the back, but it was totally worth it. And thank you guys for putting in all the extra effort. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right,
thank you so much. And I have a few things to say, and then we'd like everybody to come up and take a picture. But right after I say a few things, and I have a certificate for you. But it's with great pleasure now to recognize the Saddleback College women's soccer team, or I should say the Saddleback College state title winners and national title winners. That's fabulous. On December 7th, the head women's soccer coach, B.J. McNichol, informed us that the team scored the CCCA state title after a rigorous and extremely competitive season. During the playoff run, the Saddleback College women's soccer team had to defeat the 1st, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 16th nationally ranked teams. Amazing. They did this victoriously with only 2 losses, and in the regional championship games against Santiago Canyon College and Chaffey College, they won by a 2-goal margin. And to top off an incredible winning season, 2 players on the team were named All-Americans for the first time in Saddleback College history. We have a student athlete that was named National Junior College Player of the Year, and you introduced them. That was wonderful. I was in attendance at the playoff game that occurred at Saddleback College Stadium, and I have to say it was exhilarating and exciting to root for our home team, so go Bobcats. So on behalf of the Saddleback South Orange County Community College District Board of Trustees, it's our honor to recognize this historic win with a Certificate of Achievement to the CCCAA state title winners, the Saddleback College soccer team. Congratulations, team. So right now we're going. Thank you so much. We're very, very proud of you. Thank you. So right now we're going to the administration of office for the 4 newly elected or re-elected trustees, and to actually conduct the swearing-in ceremony. We're honored to have the judge of the Superior Court of the Orange County, Gassia Apkarian, who also is Trustee Tim Jamal's wife. So we're very honored to have her here as well.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be present. So let's begin. The following trustee was newly elected, Ryan Deck, Area 6. The following board members were re-elected: Marcia Milchiker, Area 5, TJ Pendergeist, Area 2, Terry Rydell, Area 4. Raise your right hand. All right, please repeat after me. Your name? There you go. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
All right, that was a treat. That was awesome. Thank you so much. So before we proceed with the remainder of the agenda, I just want to make a little bit of a recognition here and share a few comments and present a little token of our appreciation to our wonderful President Milchiker. So as many of you know, I was honored to step into this role as chancellor about 4 months ago. And I've been very fortunate during my transition, to have been supported by President Milchiker. And she's just been wonderful, as you can imagine. Obviously, her tenure on the board is very unique. We rarely hear this, that she has almost 4 decades of successful leadership here on the board, which is wonderful. The last 2 of which have been serving as board president. In addition to her impressive tenure and longevity, I would say she is, I think we all see it, she has a really deep commitment to the students and the employees and the community, and dare I say, love for the students, employees, and this community. I feel so grateful to have been able to transition and have you as a leader and mentor and support person. And so on behalf of the board and our district and the colleges, we want to give you this small little token of our appreciation, and it's a globe, and it says, Marcia Milchiker, oh, I need my glasses for this one, in appreciation for your service as SOCCCD Board President 2022. So let's hear it for President Milchiker.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, here. It's so pretty. Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you so. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. I've truly enjoyed working with you, and really am delighted that you have agreed to join our district as our chancellor, and hope to work many years with you as well. I have a few comments I'd like to make because I've been president for 2 years. So I'd like to take this time to thank everyone for a truly amazing few years. It has been my honor to serve as president for both 2022 and 2021 with the Board of Trustees, who demonstrate an unrelenting commitment to students and the well-being of our district. As president of the board, I'm proud of so much that we have all accomplished in the last 2 years. We successfully held several virtual meetings with the entire board during the height of the COVID to do our part in keeping our community safe. We completed the redistricting process with new trustee areas and a district map that will be in place for the next decade. We supported the full in-person return of students, faculty, and staff back to Irvine Valley College and Saddleback College and ATEP campus with policies, procedures, protocols that met the needs of the moment, at every moment. Both college foundations experience record-breaking fundraising events to support hundreds of student scholarships and services, and many of us are in many organizations to raise money for student scholarships. We worked with our state and federal advocacy groups to secure millions for the capital outlay projects, such as the IBC Fine Arts Building, $20.8 million, the IBC Veterans Resource Center, $2.5 million, as well as the Saddleback College Gateway Building, $23.6 million, and the Saddleback Math and Science Building, $20.3 million. A great deal of progress is made on the ATEP campus with the finalization of the plans and designs of the Saddleback College building at ATEP, as well as the completion of the ground lease with the Goddard School for Early Child Development, scheduled to break ground early next year. Last but not least, of course, I am most proud to have led the successful selection process of our new chancellor, Dr. Juliana Barnes. In a few short months, she has shown great enthusiasm and leadership and has been extremely pleasant to work with. And I look forward to watching the district flourish under her leadership. Again, many thanks to everyone for the uplifting encouragement and support while serving as board president. We have some amazing trustees, administrators, faculty, staff, and students that make this job look easy. I also want to thank my husband who came today and family for being so supportive of my professional endeavors on this board, which has been, as Chancellor Barnes has said, a labor of love. Thank you all again, and happy holidays to all. Thank you. Thank you. So now we move forward on the election of new officers, and we need to do this one at a time to meet the board, to meet the requirements of this particular of this job that we're doing right now. So first we have to do the election of new officers. Oh. So right now, it's a meeting that's done with it has to be done at a certain time. It has to be done with a certain organization. It has to be done according to certain regulations and rules. So right now, we're adjourning the regular meeting, and I'm calling to order an organizational meeting. So in accordance with the California Ed Code 3543 and 7200, and pursuant to Board Policy 2305, the Board of Trustees will take separate actions on items 3.8 through 3.13 in order to comply with the requirements of the annual organizational meeting. Right now, we are electing the new officers. Right now, the president has been myself, vice president has been Trustee Jamal, and the clerk has been Trustee Rydell. Right now, we have to have a nomination for the president, and I nominate Trustee Jamal for presidency. So is there a second for that?
Second it.
Okay, Trustee Jay seconds it. Okay, so now.
Thank you for that.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So now, we vote? Oh, okay. So is there a motion for the vice president or clerk?
I would actually, like to kind of, I mean, you guys are all well aware of my thoughts on having like a progression up. So in that vein, I would like to nominate Trustee Rydell for vice president, moving up from clerk. And then I would entertain if she would accept the nomination, because she would be the next in line seniority-wise, would be Trustee Jay. Would you like to be clerk?
I don't know.
Okay. That's well within your right, which then.
No, trustee,
and then-
none of the trustee Jays wanted to be officers, really. They don't, they just enjoy being on the board and serving on the board, but they didn't seek or want to be officers.
So in that vein, I would then ask Trustee Inman if she would like to be clerk.
Yes. I would
Okay,
love to.
then I move Trustee Jamal as president, Trustee Rydell as vice president, and Trustee Inman as clerk.
Do we need a motion and a second for that? Because I will make a motion for that.
Well, I just made the motion. Someone needs a second.
I'll second it. I'll second it. Oh,
So we have a motion.
know, I'm back and forth. Just, you know.
Okay, so it was unanimous. So congratulations to the new officers. And next is item 3.9, which is the appointment of the secretary and the assistant secretary. And it would currently be Chancellor Juliana Barnes would be the secretary, and the assistant secretary would be Anne Marie Gable, the vice chancellor of business services. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Trustee Jay makes the motion, and trustee Inman seconds it. So now we have to vote on it, right? Okay, well, it was unanimous, yes. 7-0. With a student trustee advisory vote of yes. So the next one we're voting on is the appointment of the trustee representatives to the many different organizations. The first one is the representative to the nominating committee to the Committee on School District Organization. And the current representative is trustee Prendergast. So
Actually, I was the,
you were the you were the
I was the alternate.
Yeah, and
Trustee
trustee,
Wright was in that position, so I stepped into it. But I'm also already on the
next one.
next one,
yeah, the political action rep to OCSBA, which makes sense because you go to all those meetings. So would somebody like to be the trustee representative? Not a very challenging job, actually.
I'm not getting the detailed list, so what's up? What do you?
This one is, the committee, this committee reviews nominations to the Orange County Committee on School District Organization that are submitted between July and October through a nominations process. They
I've done
elect-
it before.
Yeah.
But then when I became the political action representative to Orange County School Boards Association, then I stepped out of that because I get elected to that spot through the
Okay.
OCSBA.
Yeah. But I think you can do both if you want to do both, unless somebody else
Probably.
wants.
Just nominate and vote for myself.
What? Oh, you have to nominate both.
It's easier than the CCCT.
Yeah, that's a lot easier than CCCT, which is impossible, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't mind doing it, just if somebody else wants to. I
Anybody
already
else like
have
to
a
do it?
role that I enjoy doing.
Anybody else like doing it? Well, if nobody else would like doing it,
I'll do it.
okay, so is that okay with you?
Yeah?
Yeah, well,
And I can still be the alternate?
you can be the alternate, so,
Okay.
so I nominate trustee Dack as the representative, and trustee Prendergast as the alternate. So did I make a motion on that? Is there a second?
Second.
So it's second by trustee Rydell, and we can vote on it now.
You're going to vote on the whole slate.
We can vote on the whole thing? Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna, it makes a lot more sense to actually select all of them and then vote on them all at once, because that would be a much quicker process. So the district representative to OCSBA, Orange County School Boards Association, which I did for like over 20 years. So I'm nominating trustee Prendergast to that position, so.
Is this the same? It says district political action representative. Is this a different role than what you've been playing?
Yes, this is different. But I think I've been this as well.
But it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the role I'm on the Orange County School Board Association for is the community college representative for all the community
That's done
colleges
through
in Orange County.
OCS.
And that I got elected to through that nominating.
So they do that, we don't,
Right,
OCSBA.
exactly. But then I've also been the political action rep as part of that because I'm already associated with it.
And he already goes to all those meetings, so he's there anyway, so
Right.
that makes a lot of sense. So I nominate trustee Prendergast, I think I just did that,
Second.
okay. And trustee Jamal seconds it, is there,
Well, I guess
Okay,
we're doing
that's
a
it.
slate, we don't do
yeah,
the
okay.
motion and
Then
second.
the
to
representative to the Orange County Legislative Task Force, yes, yes?
I nominate Marcia Milchiker, trustee Milchiker.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, then, would you like to be the alternate?
Sure.
Okay, okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second is trustee Rydell?
No, I think trustee Jamal has got the point. We don't
We
do a
don't
motion and
nominate,
second until
okay.
we have it all
Okay.
figured
And
out.
then there's the the next one is the representative to the Saddleback College Foundation and the representative to the IVC Foundation, and trustee Rydell has been the Saddleback College Foundation, and trustee Jay has been the Irvine Valley College Foundation. I think they really would like to keep those positions, isn't that true? Okay, so I would nominate both of them to those positions. Okay, yeah. And then the next one is the SOCCCD Audit Subcommittee. And right now, the chair is trustee Prendergast, and the two reps are trustee Jamal and trustee Inman. So would you like to stay on that committee, or would you like to?
I'd like to nominate trustee Prendergast to serve as chair again.
Okay, great.
You know I teach history, not math, for a reason.
Yeah, that's true.
You're doing a fine job.
Yeah.
And then trustee Jay, do you have interest to get on the subcommittee?
Audit committee?
On the audit.
Audit. You look at the internal controls.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay. So trustee Jay, and then
Trustee Inman was already on it, as well as you, so one of you could either stay on it, or we could
I-
have somebody
I'm
else
gonna-
do it.
I'm gonna move off of it because
Okay.
my election, I guess. So,
I'll do it.
you want to do it?
Radio
Well,
wants to
to be a representative.
Yeah.
Well,
And Carolyn?
you
Well,
can't
there's
do
only,
both.
yeah,
There's
there's
three.
three. So it'd be, if I'm chair,
Yeah.
and trustee Jay wants to do it, and then you do it, then trustee Jamal and trustee Inman would be
Trustee
off
Jay
of it.
said yes.
Right.
But does trustee Inman still want to do it?
No, I'd rather do something down below,
Okay, so there you go.
for 7.
Okay.
So it'd be myself as chair, trustee Jay, and trustee Rydell as members.
Okay, that sounds good. And then this is the Board Policy Subcommittee. And that is, right now, the chair is Tim Jamal, and the two representatives are trustee Inman and trustee Jay. So,
Yeah, so I've done it for a couple of years, so I will go off as the subcommittee and also go off being the chair. It's
I would like to nominate trustee Dack for policy.
for chair?
Not necessarily,
Oh.
whichever one.
Okay. Good nomination.
Good way to start.
Do you want to chair it?
with trustee, who did we pick for the subcommittee? We picked audits, that,
No, this is policy now.
yeah.
This is the board.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
I
do you want
know.
me to explain a little what it does? You got it?
No, I know what it does.
Okay.
I mean, you actually review all the board policies
Correct.
prior to them bringing to the board, so it's a really important.
It's a very it's a very interactive working session on the board policy subcommittee.
I will be one of the representatives. again.
Okay, trustee
Okay.
Jay, that's what I was gonna
No,
ask
stay
you.
on.
And what?
I can stay on it.
So we,
So, yeah,
do you want to chair it?
And Marie, you do it all the work, right? No. Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
So then we have trustee Inman and trustee Jay, and then we need one more.
no, Dak is on.
Ryan, I'm sorry, Ryan,
Dak-
and
Ryan
trustee
Dak.
Dak.
Trustee Inman's the chair. And then trustees,
Got all this, Grace?
And then,
Dak and trustee Jay.
and then a new committee, which is representative to the SOCCT Legislative Advocacy Subcommittee, which we have not had before. And this is a good committee. I'm glad we're having this now. We're actually implementing this now. So I'd like to nominate trustee Inman for this.
What about you, Marcia?
Oh, okay, I'll do it too,
Yeah.
unless somebody else wants it.
So I nominate you to be the chair,
Me to be the chair, okay, if you want.
and then trustee Jay to be on the committee, subcommittee.
And also trustee Inman.
Oh, okay, yeah. Three of you.
You want anything?
What's that?
Did you manage to get off of anything?
I got off of everything.
I don't know
I did
about
this-
that. I don't know about that.
I did the same thing when I was president, because I thought that was enough, that was
Well, that's
enough work,
true. If
you
you're
know?
president,
That was
you're
enough
already
work.
kinda doing
I
a lot.
thought when I was president, I'd give everybody else an opportunity to take the other jobs.
Yeah, no, I'm already on 3 things, so I don't want to do this.
You don't want to do this? Okay, so it's Inman, me, and is somebody else interested in ledge?
I think you should.
I'd be interested in taking it.
Okay.
What's that?
I'd be interested
Okay.
in being on there.
Okay, so Ryan Jack, is that okay? Does anybody else want it? Oh, good. Perfect. I'm glad you're doing it. I just want to be fair,
Ryan,
okay?
Carolyn, and who?
Okay, great.
I'm sorry, who were the three again?
So it's
and
Ryan
Inman.
Dack, trustee Dack, trustee Inman, and trustee Milchiker.
Oh, that's right,
Okay.
okay.
This is the legislative.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the chair.
Yeah, I'm the chair, so that'll be fun. Because that'll tie into the Orange County, the trustee organization that, with the legislative body that has all the trustees work together, which I helped found many years ago, the Orange County Legislative Task Force. So this will, when we decide on legislation, we could funnel it into the Orange County Legislative Task Force as well. So that might really work well together. So it'll be good. So we did this, so, do we vote on this now or vote on the whole?
Okay, do you want to have
Yeah.
Grace
Yeah.
restate what we've done?
Oh, poor Grace.
So, I mean, because we have to vote it en bloc, right?
So we'll vote on this in block, and then we'll vote on 2 other items.
Okay, so I have the motion at the beginning of when you started selecting as trustee Milchiker and trustee Rydell. And we have the rep for nominating committee to the Committee on School District Organization as trustee Dack. And the alternate is trustee Prendergast. For the district political action rep to the OCSBA, we have trustee Prendergast. For the rep to the Orange County Legislative Task Force, we have Representative trustee Milchiker, the alternate trustee Inman. For representative to Saddleback College Foundation, we have trustee Rydell. And the representative to the IVC Foundation, we have trustee Jay. Representative to the SOCCCD Audit Committee, we have chair trustee Prendergast. Representative 1, trustee Jay. Representative 2, trustee Rydell. For the representative to the Board Policy Subcommittee, we have the chair, trustee Inman. Representative 1, trustee Dack. Representative 2, trustee Jay. And the representative to the SOCCCD Legislative Subcommittee, we have the chair, trustee Milchiker. Representative 1, trustee Dack. Representative 2, trustee Inman.
Sounds good, thank you. So now we vote on it.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Okay.
So that was voted on with the 7 yes, 0 no, and a trustee advisory vote of yes, so it passed unanimously. So now we go to the board meeting calendar, which the board members have decided, have had some opportunity to look at. So,
So moved.
okay, is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, so there's a motion by trustee Jamal with a second by trustee Jay, and now we'll vote on it. Okay, only 2 more items. The next item is okay, this is unanimously passed, 7-0. with a student advisory trustee vote of yes. So the next one is the establishment of an agenda planning calendar, which tells us how we plan for the entire year. So is there a motion and a second for this?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay, trustee Jamal voted yes, and trustee Inman second.
I have a question.
Yes?
So there's been grumblings, if you may, about whatever this is we're using, the board docs versus Granicus. If we were to pursue returning to Granicus, would these dates still be sufficient, or would they need less time, more time, in between stages? Anybody have an idea?
Vice Chancellor McDonald, do you have?
We've had one training session with the folks from Granicus, and we have an additional training session. So we so far have reviewed what does the technology look like and what are the updates since we last used Granicus for everything that occurs prior to the board meeting. So our next session is scheduled sometime in the next week or so, and then we will review what would the technology needs be to actually operate the board meeting. So my understanding at the moment, and again, we still have one more session, is that we would actually have to have a server on-prem, and we would need hardwire connections, but that would most likely assist with the speed. So overall, in terms of the timeline, we will complete the assessment and we'll do additional assessments with board docs. Probably by early January, February is when we'd most likely make an official recommendation. And the reason for not having a more expedited timeline is because our license for board docs, we have a 1-year license for board docs, so we do actually have some time. Now, if given direction to expedite, we have the ability to expedite, but we figured we would take care of this by February and come forward with a recommendation after we get trained and then meet with the rest of our community.
That is an amazingly good amount of information, but it didn't answer my question. My question was more on the calendar timeline. Would if we switch to Granicus, would these dates still work as far as the timing that they would need to prepare the agenda? Would they need less time, more time? And I guess the overarching question is if it is less or more, can we amend these dates at a later time if needed if we switch to Granicus? That's where I'm getting.
Yeah, okay. I don't assume the calendar would need to change.
Okay. Thank you. But thank you for that other update. That's good to hear. That was way more than I wanted, and I'm glad we got it. Okay, I'm ready to vote now.
Okay. Okay, so the final resolution is unanimous. 7 trustees voted yes, no trustees voted 0, and there was a student advisory vote of yes. So the next item is the approval of the agenda format. And does somebody want to explain what the recommendation is for the agenda format now?
It's just what we do every month.
Okay, well, the change is, the change that's been recommended is that we would have the trustee, I guess the idea is, somebody timed it, and it takes 40 minutes to go through the reports that we have from all the constituent groups and from the board and from everyone. So the recommendation is to have, at the beginning, the board reports and the students' reports, and I'm very much in favor of having the student report first, because the students right now have finals next week, and then they have midterms, and they probably don't need to stay for the whole meeting, and they can give their reports and leave, and leaving all the rest of the reports for the the end of the meeting, and this would be from the administration, from the all the governance groups would be at the end. So I've got mixed feelings about this because I am very egalitarian, and I love hearing all the reports from the administration and the government groups, but other people feel that it's just, we're here for, it's a business meeting of our Board of Trustees, which it is, and that it's better to get through it and then get the reports from the governance groups and from the administration. So would anybody else like to talk to this?
I'll just
You
say,
know, motion and a second before you can discuss it.
Okay, is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Okay, trustee Jamal makes the motion, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and then trustee Prendergast seconds it, okay?
No, go ahead. I do, but I'll let you go first.
okay, just to your egalitarian comment, I mean, no one who's currently speaking is being prohibited from speaking. It's just a sequencing issue, that's it. So, you guys are still everyone's gonna get their time, and no one's who's currently allowed to address the board is getting their time slot taken away. Just a reorder.
So then, mine was more of a question again to the idea of switching to Granicus. I know when we switched to board docs, one of the issues is when we first went ahead and reorganized the headers and the titles to be more in line with what other boards throughout the state are doing and having that cohesion. My assumption is we can still do that with Granicus. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Thanks. He's learning.
You're learning fast.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready to vote then.
Do the governance groups want to speak to this at all, or, do they have any strong feelings about it? No, they don't? Okay.
You guys usually stay through the whole meeting anyway. It's not like we're throwing you into
Okay.
No, I mean, I think a lot of districts don't even allow as many representatives speak as we do, so I think it's, right? I mean, I think that's true, so I think it's a good thing that we do it. But you're gonna have to stick to 2 minutes when I get there,
Call the question.
when I get to that seat.
Wait, call the question. Oh, okay. So it's approved with 6 yeses and 1 no. And the student trustee advisory voted yes, and I'll go along with what everybody agrees with. Okay, thank you.
Wow, you voted no.
Well,
Okay.
I kind of spoke out against it, and then I kind of would be weird to vote yes, maybe. Okay. Okay, but I'm glad that everyone agreed to it, so that's good. Thank you. Okay, so now we're adjourning the organizational meeting, and we have to take a few minutes of moving the chairs around and changing the computer, so I think it'll take about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to the reports from the community. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we are reconvening our open session. We are now at 3.15, public comments. And as I alluded to just a second ago, everyone is limited to 2 minutes. This is indiscriminate, okay? I'm going to say this at the outset. Everyone is limited to 2 minutes. When your 2 minutes are up, if you are finishing up your sentence or your thought, that's fine. We're not going to cut you off. But we all have timers in front of us here at the board, keeping track of the times. And that applies not just to the board members, to public comments, to the governance groups. We are going to stick to that. Now, maybe there could be a unique circumstance that would require or, allow for or, it would be permitted to go longer. But that would be, when that circumstance occurs. So I just want to say that as I take the chair from Trustee Milchiker, who did such a great job, that we're going to try to adhere, we are going to adhere to the 2-minute rule. So thank you for that. All right, now we have several requests for public comment. I'll call out the first 2. Connie Kenyette, please come forward. And then next up would be Amina Yassi? I didn't say that right. Okay. Please, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the International Languages Department tonight. I'm Connie Cayet and proud to have served as a Spanish professor here since 1986. Our department would like to show appreciation for our highly regarded associate faculty tonight for their energy, enthusiasm, and devotion to students, but also personal sacrifices of time and effort in creating face-to-face, hybrid, and online courses to adapt to the changing needs of our students. It's important to recognize that these devoted faculty members achieve remarkable results while leveraging the demands of multiple teaching sections, different locations, and simultaneously retraining for the demands of online education. They have received the Online Education Badge, which contributed greatly to the success of 11 language programs and the success of our students. The International Language Department also recognizes our 3 Faculty Center heroes, Vivian, Valerie, and Thomas, whose teaching of the latest digital tools contributed to the ultimate success of our thriving online courses with increased enrollments and the completion of degrees in all languages. Thank you, Valerie, Vivian, and Thomas. Also to our wonderfully creative administrative assistants, Haver and Cindy, whose expertise with daily operations contributed to successful communications across the college. And now to honor our dedicated faculty, Professors Polly Ho, Douglas Smith, Nancy Thulin, Amit Neslik, Vera Maniachi, Professors Ito, Gaudumani, and Manikawa in Japanese. Also, Professors Cho and Yu, Sohela Sarimi. In Spanish, Professors Manuel Espinosa, Nancy Ala, Silvia Quijel, Beatriz Garcia Lua, Valeria Barragan, Paulino Mendoza, Silvia Vázquez Paramio, Ana Rosin, Alma Velázquez, Millie Harrison, and Bridget Gomez. Thank you from the full-time faculty for your tireless effort, devotion, and fostering a love of languages and a vital cultural link to connect the college community to outreach programs beyond the classroom.
Okay,
Your
I'm sorry,
dedication to
your 2
diversity and equity is a
2
gift.
minutes is up.
Thank you forever for honoring us, and we treasure each of you. Thank you so much. Buenas noches.
Thank you. And then next to our Bukra Nadal and Sylvia Vasquez.
Good evening. Tonight I'm here because we would like to honor the mentors and Partners in Algebra. Partners in Algebra is a nonprofit organization formed 20 years ago to assist underrepresented first-generation Saddleback students with their math skills. Since math is typically the subject that will most likely prevent a student from graduating or from getting an AA degree or for transferring, that was the first focus. Over the years, many other subjects were added, providing mentees help with biology, chemistry, accounting, physics, art, English, Spanish, sociology, and psychology. And to date, their Partners in Algebra has been very successful in transferring students to all UC campuses, NYU, Columbia, USC, USD, Chapman, and the Cal State system. We are very proud that 2 of our newest members mentors in the program are UCLA and USD graduates who themselves were mentees in the program. Some mentors in the past and present have included board members. There's, of course, Trustee Milchiker, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, faculty members such as Professors Brett Myron, Jean Mazik, Erin Shea, Carla Westfall, Nancy Allah, Professor Amira Buma, Beatriz Garcia Lua, Silvia Vasquez Paramio, Professor Majid Karimi, Pete Murray, Brian Carrillo, John Bremen, and Bill Billingsley. We should also mention that our classified staff, we have Judy Paris, a former program research analyst, and Linda Graveson, a former language lab specialist, as well as more than 26 professional members in the community. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank the board members, first of all, for giving us the opportunity to speak tonight. I would like to praise, actually, I'm also doing the same thing that Connie was doing, to praise the associate faculty of the International Languages Department. The International Languages Department offers 11 languages. 8 of those languages are taught by associate faculty. And with the encouragement of the chairs, all associate faculty completed their certification for online education, either with Saddleback or with @ONE. They have also created robust Canvas courses with the help of Valerie, Vivian, and Thomas, who have dedicated countless hours in helping them design their courses. So on behalf of my colleagues, Amina Yassin, Professor of Arabic, Connie Kiet, Carmen Mara Hernandez Bravo, professors of Spanish, and myself, Bushra Nado, French, I would like to give kudos to our associate professors. All these amazing professors have created and converted all their courses online before the pandemic to meet the demands for remote learning. Their dedication to their students and to diversity is a gift to this institution. Most of them are members of the Equity and Diversity Committee and have participated in countless college-wide activities to create a culture of diversity and inclusion in our college. Thank you for your attention, and go Atlas Lion. You better root for Morocco on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about the mentorship program for graduate students. I'm part of the International Language Department. I'm associate faculty, and I was one of the mentees of this program, so it's a pleasure for me to be here today to talk to you about this program. Before I start, I would like to thank you, former BPI Don Boucher and Rahen Bourdien, former President Richard McCulloch, and former Human Resources Chancellor David Bugay, and of course our former liberal arts dean Kevin O'Connor, for their support with this wonderful program that increased the diversity in our campus. Many universities, they don't offer teaching assistant programs to train all of these graduates, leaving students, especially many first-generation graduates, without an opportunity to acquire the experience, and they have a hard time finding a job. The International Language Department started a program training graduated students every year in Spanish language mainly, and literature courses. The professors, they will team teach and they share their salary, and I'm gonna say thank you because I was one of those mentees and someone shared the salary with me so I can get that experience, so thank you. And today, many of those 27 mentees, 27 of those, they got full-time positions either at high schools or at other institutions, or they work on our district in the Meritus program, like Professor Harrison and Professor Guillen, or an IBC like Professor Alma Velasquez and Santiago, and Saddleback College, Professor Garcia, myself, Professor Silvia Vasquez, and Professor Barragan, Rosena Bridget Gomez. So many of these, they were at some point mentees. So our concurrent enrollment courses.
So, I'm sorry, can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I'm almost done. In Laguna Hills and El Toro, those high schools are taught those courses by those mentees. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for all the mentees that they are teaching today.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Carmen Mara Hernandez Bravo, and then following her, Kaylin Broughton.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the new members. Congratulations, the re-elected members. And today I am here to talk about classified employees. The International Language Department would like to honor the Spanish bilingual and bicultural Latinx managers and classified colleagues for being a role model to the community and for their dedication to our students. You are the most important community in our college, and we will not exist without you. You help students and parents to navigate the educational system, and you have a huge impact on their success in their future. Ustedes son el orgullo para nuestra comunidad y es un honor que sean nuestros y nuestras colegas. District, we are honoring in the district Grace Garcia, Manager of the Office of the Chancellor and Trustee Services, Yuri Perez, District Program Research Analyst, Raúl Gutiérrez, Technology. At the college, we are honoring Celia Perez, Executive Assistant of the Office of the Vice President for Student Services, Lori Parra, EOPS Care Especially. Lori, you have been the most important person in EOPS, helping thousands of students for decades to achieve their goals. Joanna Plaza, EOPS. Marco Mandariaga, Program Outreach Specialist. Admission and Record Enrollment, Mujeres Maravillosas. Primer encuentro con la comunidad Latinx, where you help students and parents to navigate the educational system. Lourdes Castilla, Senior Administrative Assistant, Grisel Heredia, Alicia Olvera, Elsa Chacón, Vanessa Miramontes, Evelia Ramírez, Elba Araiza. In the SBS, we want to honor Ivonne Velardes, Ángel Granados, Everardo Arrizón Montiel,
I'm going to have
Juan
to
de la
ask you,
Cruz.
please, can you wrap up?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, you guys I've had to tell everyone, just please try to stick to the 2 minutes. Thank you.
Apologies if I go a little lower.
Yeah.
Height gets me. Good evening, board members. I am here to talk about student housing. I am Callan Broughton, full-time student, U.S. Army Reserve Specialist, and within ASG, I am the student representative for veterans on campus. And with being a student representative, I'm the ear to a lot of student problems, to which I'm supposed to provide a solution. Some being the high cost of living, where I've seen fellow students wearing the same clothes to class every day, since department stores in Orange County are still too expensive for them to afford new clothes. Or food insecurity, where at the vet center, I have personally seen others and created myself different concoctions of ready-made food just to get the fuel I need for the day. And also commute issues. This bewildered me when one of the candidates for the publicity officer position on my council stated they could only attend on Zoom due to the commute from Riverside and all the way through Ortega Highway. And they do all of this weekly just to get to school for one on-campus class. Or the very obvious campus dissociation. Since COVID-19, more students are taking class online than ever. So ASG has less of a student body to work with in regard to event participation for student life on campus. And so I've found, at times, I'm not personally able to solve these problems. In this past October, my ASG president prompted me to promote the Student Housing Survey. And for most of all, if not, all of these problems, they can be solved with affordable on-campus housing. So please, for the consideration of students on campus, my fear of public speaking, and the BH of vets I represent, we would really appreciate it if the board considers student housing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You did a great job. All right. You did great. Final two public speakers are Emilia Tabatabai and Alexandra Breschet.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and the members of the public. My name is Amelia Tabatabai, and I'm the Director of Academic and Divisional Affairs here at Saddleback College. I will be discussing student housing concerns. There are many low-income students on campus that either are living in their cars or have no commute long hours to campus. Personally, before I moved to Orange County from Los Angeles, I had to drive 2 hours to get to class. This was very tiresome and time-consuming for me as a full-time worker and student. By the time I drove back home, I was already worn out to study and pursue other interests. As someone who personally struggled with transportation and shelter, I understand how necessary and supportive campus housing can be for students like me, especially for commuters. As an AHG student representative who sees this problem frequently, I know that many students, myself included, would appreciate the pursuit of affordable student housing for Saddleback College students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexandra Brackett Ramirez. I'm the Director of Events this year in ASG. Hosting multiple events this semester, we have promoted student housing, and I've had tons of Saddleback students come up to myself and multiple other ASG members to discuss their approval and how they love the student housing plan and how it will impact their lives. Why do students come to Saddleback College? This is a universal question with multiple answers. However, the one that has caught my attention the most is due to financial circumstances. Many Saddleback students are low-income students who either work part-time or full-time to support themselves and their families. Why should having to pay $3,000 a month for an apartment stop students to wanting to pursue an education? It really shouldn't. Approving student housing will be a relief to multiple students who are debating on whether they should drop out to continue working. I wish my best friend, Alondra, could have stayed in school, but she couldn't because of financial burdens. She has to work almost 60 hours a week. If affordable housing were available to her, she would have been able to stay in school instead of working 24/7 to pay for a roof over her head. I know there are many students in the same situation, and affordable student housing would be the key for multiple students pursuing higher education. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you for that. Any other requests for a report? Comments? No? All right. Moving on, we're now into oral reports. Oh, I'm sorry. She's right. Chancellor's right. We are going to deviate a bit, and we are going to move up and consider now our presentation and discussion item, which is 8.1, and it's the presentation and acceptance of the district foundation, 2 foundations audit reports, or 3 foundations audit reports. So please step forward.
Don't forget that district foundation.
I said 3.
I want to know what they do.
Dwight, you want to go? Okay, I can go. Good evening. Thank you so much for moving it up. I really appreciate that, and I will try to even stick within your timeline too as well. So I appreciate that. My name is Brendan Harrison. I'm a partner at Ide Bailey. I am the partner in charge that oversees the audit for the district audit and the 2 foundations and the review of the district's foundation as well. So I'm going to give you a summary of all 4 of the reports that I have to present. I will stop in between each one just to see if anyone has any questions, and then I'll move on to the next reports. So the first report that I'm going to go through is the district's report. The district's report is, what I always want to let the board knows is that the financial statements are management's financial statements. What we do as an audit firm is we are independent and we provide an opinion over those financial statements. We verify that the financial statements are free of material misstatement and free of material noncompliance, and then we issue an opinion over there. So we actually issue 3 opinions for the district. We issue one over the financial statements, the federal awards, and the state programs as well. Over the financial statements in the current year, we gave the district an unmodified opinion. An unmodified opinion is the best opinion that you can receive. That means that your financial statements are free of material misstatement and free of material noncompliance. We did not have any audit adjustments in the current fiscal year either. That means that as the financial information is presented to you on a regular basis, we didn't have to make any adjustments for these financial statements to present them fairly in the current year. As I said, we issued an unmodified opinion, no material weaknesses and no significant deficiencies over the financial statements. Over the federal awards, we actually audited 3 programs. We audited the Student Financial Assistance Cluster, we audited your HERF program, and we also audited the coronavirus state, local, and recovery funds as well. Within those 3 programs, we issued an unmodified opinion again. We did have one comment that I'll go over after I go through the summary. We did have one finding that we did note in the current fiscal year. We actually audited 94% of your federal total dollars between those 3 programs. And then also we issued an opinion over the state compliance. Your state compliance is going to be your SCFF funding reporting. It's going to be your DSPS. It's going to be your residency testing. We have to do many tests that are required by the chancellor's office. We issued an unmodified opinion, and we had no findings within the state compliance as well. So the only finding that we had in the current fiscal year was over federal compliance. There was one thing that we considered a significant deficiency. That's not as severe as a material weakness, so we didn't think it was material to the program. It was something that we had to note as noncompliance. It was a timely calculation of doing your return to Title IV. The calculation was completed, but it just was not within the 30 days that it is required to be completed. So just to wrap it up, you had an unmodified opinion over your financial statements, unmodified opinion over your federal awards, and an unmodified opinion over your state compliance as well. We did go over this audit report with the audit committee last month, my colleagues did, and we went into either further detail with them and answered many questions there.
Thank you for that. Any questions?
I
Trustee
just
Prendergast?
wanted to thank I. Bailey LLP. You guys did a great job with the presentation at the audit committee. Very precise and thorough report that was also easy to read. So I do really appreciate the work you guys did, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Any other comments? I just realized one of the other things that Granicus could do is that, that was on here a few years ago, is that board members could request to speak electronically, so it would pop up on the board president's screen. So you're not able to do that. You had a comment?
Yeah, 100% good audit report for everything going on in our district, so it makes us, the board, feel really good that things are going so smoothly and well. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I will move on to the next.
Oh, you're
I
gonna keep
have
going.
three
That's right.
reports. I'll go
That's
through those
right.
even quicker than I did
sorry.
that one.
I spoke too
So
early.
I have the Irvine Valley College Foundation. So there, again, we actually issued an unmodified opinion. We only issue one opinion over the financial statements of the foundations. Unmodified opinion, no findings, and no audit adjustments in the current year for the Irvine Valley College Foundation. Now, from the Saddleback College Foundation, again, we issued unmodified opinion. That means we believe that the financial statements are free of material misstatement, free of material noncompliance. We had one comment that we noted that we communicated with management about best practices, recording promises to give, and that was recorded in the financial statement, so it's already included into the numbers that you have there. So we also issued an unmodified opinion over the Saddleback College Foundation. Now, for the foundation for the South Orange County Community College District.
That's the one we've been waiting for
There you
all
go.
night.
That's the one, the big dollars that comes in here. So this is the one that we did. We actually do a review over these financial statements. It's less of an audit. Obviously, you know, there's not as much activity within that foundation. But we, again, did not have any audit findings or any adjustments within the foundation of South Orange County Community College District as well.
Great.
So I will
Okay.
open up to any questions that you have for any
Any other
reports.
questions from board members? Comments? Chairman, anything else? Nope. All right, you're done. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your,
and I
thank you for
appreciate
your
you all
presentation.
moving me up. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. And now, I will,
Do
I
we
think
have
we need a
to-
motion and approval?
Yeah, we have to vote to
accept
approve the audit
The
reports.
audit report.
So
Is there-
move to approve the audit
Motion
report?
from trustee Milchiker,
Yeah.
I second it.
second from trustee Jay. Any other questions? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Oh. This screen stays the same. The motion carries by a 7-0 yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. All right, now we're moving on to oral reports. 4.1, we'll start with board reports, and I think it's fitting to have our newest trustee kick off the board reports. Trustee Deck.
I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do yet.
Maybe come back to them afterward.
Yeah, I'll follow someone else's lead for this first time.
Oh, sure, all right. I was trying to give you the honor. All right, well, trustee Prendergast.
Thank you. Well, first of all, congratulations to newly elected trustee Dak. Look forward to working with you. And I hope you have a quick learning curve.
Me too.
So just a couple of things. I'll leave some of these for others because I know they attended them. The nurses pinning was wonderful as usual. They do a really good job with that presentation, and it's always nice to go to. I can only ever go to the fall one because the spring one's always on a swim meet day, but I was able to make this one. I also attended the Feast of Lights on the Friday night. I do want to make a very personal thank you of gratitude to Dean Scott Farthing for listening to me badger him for the last 5 years to include Rio Chiu into the format. The singers that did that a cappella did an amazing job. It was pretty close to tearful. I first heard that song on the Monkees Christmas special, and I've loved the song ever since, and he was nice enough to put that in for me. I also attended I still don't know how I got on this thing, but I am the community college representative to the Association of California Cities, Orange County, which is all the mayors of all the cities in Orange County and me. And they got a presentation back on November 21st from the Director of Public Works, City of Dana Point, Matt Sinacori, and Natalie Garland, Planning and Design Manager, OC Parks, and Susan Brodor, Senior Coastal Engineer for OC Parks Planning and Design. They went over the plan for mitigation of the Living Shoreline Pilot Program in Dana Point, Doheny Beach. And the most interesting thing about it I found about that is in the 60s, they dumped a bunch of sand in there, and now they're trying to figure out how to get the sand back. And so we'll see how that works. But it was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Inman.
Yes, I want to congratulate Trustee Rydell and others for their reelections and welcome Trustee Ryan Dack. You do notice that we have 3 teachers sitting here at the end, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're all, as all of the others, thoroughly committed to education, student, teachers, classified, everybody that makes this whole thing work so well. I went to the CCLC convention, and it was really interesting, like most conventions, but I want to point quickly to 2 things. One of the sessions that was the most important was on student housing, and I thank you guys for overcoming your fear of public speaking to come talk to us, because it's really important. They could have had a room twice as big. It seems like everybody in the state is talking about this, asking about it. Many dedicated to doing it already. So that was very, very interesting. And the facts they gave, the experts, it was really good to listen to. The other one that I really liked was on educating incarcerated citizens. And I have some experience in that, having gone to the graduations at Chuckawalla and Ironwood prisons out by Blythe by one of our community colleges. And the recidivism rate is unbelievably different for people who are educated as people who aren't. So I was so happy to see how much had changed since I went to those. It was just a few places. Now it's all up and down the state. And we're starting to do it with a previous, just released, kind of. I don't think I'm saying that quite right. But anyway, so I'm glad that we're looking at those kinds of things. The EOPS luncheon was fun, but I have to say in my last 8 seconds that Charlie Brown Christmas was my favorite. And my grandson liked Lucy, and my granddaughter wants to be Snoopy. She thought that was the greatest one, and they didn't have to say anything, and it was the most fun. But it was a great family event, and in the community is important, and it's important to have things that families get to come to. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Inman. We're going to go a little out of order, and I'm going to look down here and go to Trustee Milchiker.
Okay. Here's my, okay. I'm just going to mention the things I attended since the last board meeting. First, I attended the CCLC conference with Chancellor Julia Barnes and Trustee Carolyn Inman, and it was quite informative, and it's already been spoken about. I got a tour of the horticulture department of Saddleback College, and I was excited to select my gorgeous succulents in person again. Of course, I attended the women's soccer game, which was so exciting. And then Saddleback College Guided Pathways presentation in the McKinney Theater was also very informative and thought-provoking. And there's so many concerts and theater performances to choose from both of our colleges, and I want to give both of our colleges equal time. So at Saddleback College, I attended Charlie Brown's Christmas, and the student actors were delightful, and it was a small theater, and it was just perfect for small children and children of all ages. And the Feast of Lights was incredible as usual, and Scott Farthing made the whole audience love him and love each other. And then at IBC, I attended Saddle Elephant Man at the Little Theater again at IBC, and it was superb acting with incredibly innovative sets. And the nurse pinning ceremony, their small class of 40 due to the pandemic, but they loved their professor. The IVC Holiday Mingle, the IVC Linda Purdy Memorial, and the Saddleback College Undergraduate Research Conference. And I'm a biology professor, so of course I attended the STEM oral presentations moderated by Dr. Abbe Shirilnik. And our students presented their original data-driven research in a collaborative and professional manner. And Professor Shirilnik did a fabulous job of moderating this session. And there are many other accomplishments of professors, classified professionals, and students, and they're all in the chancellor's and the college president's written report, so read them there. Thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Milchiker.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Jay.
The holidays are once again upon us. As the board representative to the IVC Foundation, I'd like to pass on that the foundation staff is hard at work planning what is sure to be a fun, engaging, and successful Celebrating Excellence Awards dinner. It is scheduled for Friday, March 10th at the Lions Air Museum. The funds raised are invested in the students and programs of the IVC College. I am sponsoring the photographer, and I hope that you will consider joining me by being a sponsor or placing a commemorative ad in the program. It is a wonderful way to celebrate all that is excellent about IVC. I always look forward to Saddleback's Feast of Light musical presentation each holiday season. It is one of the finest things Saddleback College does for the community. This year, I sponsored a group of 20, and they raved about the inspiring, uplifting program. Unfortunately, I was ill and could not attend with them. However, they reported back and they treasured the experience and wished to make this an annual tradition for our group. Many thanks to Saddleback Division of Fine Arts and Media Technology for a job well done. In addition to ending as always, let there be peace on earth, Professor Scott Farthing left us with inspiring message, the gist of which I'd like to make my wish for the holidays 2022. Be kind to one another, be tolerant of one another, be safe, and be well. Happy holidays to you all.
Thank you, Trustee Jay. Trustee Rydell.
Thank you so much, Trustee Jay, for those words. I think all of us can use that. We've had a tough year, and be kind to one another. Well, I'm back.
Never left.
You know, a lot of people said you did it, but I want to tell all of you, we did it. It couldn't have been done without the help that I received. It couldn't have been done without the classified here, without the faculty that helped me. I just want to tell you that I was most appreciative. It was a tremendous learning curve for me. You know, as old as I am and as much as I've done in my life, it really was a real learning curve with a lot of work, which really paid off. I had an experienced community leader, a mayor, a formidable opponent, and it was a tough race, but I want to tell you all, thank you very, very much. I did learn two things while I was standing in front of Albertsons, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, and going house to house. You really get to know your community. I mean, how many of us have asked others, strangers, let's talk? It's interesting, especially at Sprouts. If they didn't want to talk, they went off that door. If they wanted to talk, they came past me. It's just like when we have homeless on the corner, if you can get in another lane, you do, because you don't want to be bothered. And at first I was a little hurt, and I thought, no, you know, they must be, you know, having to get home to dinner, et cetera, et cetera. We all have a life. But there were a couple of things that I really learned going house to house. And that was, a lot of people don't know about us. You know, they really don't, and I don't know why. We're so great. But, and I explained that. I explained what greatness was. If they were grandparents, okay, how old are your grandchildren? We got right down to it. And it was good sharing that about our partnerships and about the specific workforce opportunities that you can get here. And I think we're going to get more. And that really made me happy. And then I ran into some people who told me they weren't going to send their high schoolers here. I was stunned. And I said, "What's the problem?" And they said, "You've changed too much." And I didn't get into it because I felt I was there to teach them or to share with them what I was governing. But I have to say that you find all different people out there, and we have to serve all those different people out there. So we have to find ways to suit everyone if we can. I do want to real quick, I know my timing.
That's a good note to end on.
Okay, I just want to say about the gala, it was successful. Thank you. Very successful.
Okay, so I already broke my
I'm
own.
timing you.
So this was the one occasion where I thought that made sense for someone to go longer than 2 minutes. I just want to congratulate new trustee Ryan Dack. Welcome to the board. I don't know if it's inappropriate or not to say this, but now we have another generation on the board, so
Yes.
I'm very excited about that. We need some, it's good to have you on board. I'll stop at that. And then I want to congratulate my friend and colleague, Trustee, Trustee Rydell. You went through the equivalent of a full court press, and or I need a soccer analogy, but I used a basketball analogy, and the board is a better place to have you on it. So we're glad that you have retained your seat. So it wasn't not a goodbye speech last month. And I just want to thank my colleagues for electing me to be board president. It really is an honor. It's one thing, of course, it's an honor to be elected by the community and to reach out to the community and to talk to them like Trustee Rydell just said, but to be recognized by your peers, it's another really great honor. And Juliana and I look very much looking forward to, we're already working together, but the board president has a little bit more interaction with what goes on a monthly and day-to-day basis. So I appreciate that. It's an amazing community college district. I've said it over and over again. We have challenges, but I look around the room today and people listening, and we're going to meet those challenges. We have enrollment challenges. We have lots of things we need to deal with, distance learning versus in-person learning. And I think we have the right team in place to move forward in a positive way. So thank you to the board. Look forward to serving as your board president for as long as, well, I guess a year, and then we'll see where it goes. Thank you. Oh, okay. That's Student Trustee Abalos.
Thank you so much, President Jamal. I would like to welcome on behalf of all the students, Trustee Dack, for joining our board. We really appreciate your dedication to students, and we all really look forward to us working with you and you advocating for us. And I wanted to share that over the weekend, the IVC student government attended a leadership retreat at UCLA Lake Arrowhead Lodge, sponsored by our student government. And we were able to do leadership development trainings, including the Aspen Index Leadership Assessment. And we were the first community college cohort actually to take that assessment and to make use of these leadership training resources. So we're excited to see further implementation of it to other students. And right now is kind of like the 3 most stressful weeks for community colleges, college students in general, because it's finals season. And so because of that, our student governments have put on de-stress events, de-stress week, which includes like a lot of mindfulness and mental health resources. So we thank our mental health services departments for that. And also a lot of students completed their transfer applications this past month for the fall 2023 transfer. session. And also, I was able to attend and present at the IVC Saddleback Conference, and it was really inspiring to see that our community colleges provide this opportunity because research is really scarce, and research opportunities like this are really scarce for students like us, and it helps us in our transfer goals or just on our resume. So we're really thankful for that opportunity.
Thank you. All right, now we are.
I think I'm ready now.
Oh, back to you. I forgot. I thought you'd already gone. Back to Trustee Deck.
Okay, so I would just like to thank everybody here. I've had a great onboarding experience. This is all new to me. This is my second campaign that I've run, and I've got the opportunity to meet each board member. I met Trustee Prendergast today. I've known Carolyn, or Trustee Inman, for a couple of years here. I had the opportunity to meet with Trustee Rydell over the summer. I'm meeting with Trustee Jamal today, first time meeting, and I met with Trustee Jay and Trustee Milchiker at the Saddleback Gala. So it's been a great opportunity meeting with all the trustees one-on-one. I'm really excited to be working with everyone here for the next 2 years. Because I'm on a short term, I'll be up again. So that's 3 elections in 6 years. That's always fun. For onboarding, I want to thank Grace, and I want to thank Kristen, and I want to thank everybody here at the district. Very welcoming, very helpful. A little bit of technical issues getting my email, but I'm in there now. So I just want to thank everybody for everything they've done, and I'm excited to be here.
Great.
Welcome.
Welcome again, Ryan.
Welcome.
Okay, moving on now. We're on to Associate Student Government Reports, and let's start out with Gloria Lee from Saddleback College.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and members of the public. To report what ASG has been doing since my report last month, our events committee has partnered with our EOPS program to raise nearly 100 donations so far to aid our students in providing gifts for their dependents. Our Sustainability Council will be holding a beach cleanup this Friday at the Ocean Institute in Dana Point, and our Veterans Barbecue was a success, with us earning nearly a quarter of our funding back in donations.
Wow.
We are currently in the works of preparing ways to further support our students for the spring semester. I also want to report that ASG strongly supports the student housing plans that are currently being discussed and waiting for approval for our Saddleback campus. Since 4 years ago, with our past ASG President Perry, ASG has passed a resolution titled the Perry-Mead Affordable Housing Resolution, where, and I quote, "We support the college and district in exploring opportunities for affordable housing on our campus through local funding and/or a public-private partnership." Since then, our ASG team each year has been looking at ways to move forward with affordable student housing. There has not been a single year since our resolution in 2019 in which ASG has not supported affordable student housing. We have had affordable housing committees and task forces within our student government throughout 2018 to 2020 with the intention of continuing the work of obtaining affordable housing. All 40-plus members in ASG this year, including myself, firmly support affordable student housing, affordable student housing. Affordability and shelter is always a concern for our students, and ASG is aware of how serious this basic need is. At our outreach events, we always have students approach our ASG members with concerns for affordable housing while attending Saddleback College. Providing affordable student housing for our students is crucial in supporting them, and we hope to be able to move forward with this. Thank you for listening to my report, and happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Nice.
Now, turn it over to Angelica Bustos from Irvine Valley College.
All right. Hello, trustees. I'm definitely going to give you guys a brief report. So first of all, congratulations to the newly elected trustee DAC and also the re-elected trustees. Thank you, trustees, for all that you do for students in both Saddleback and Irvine Valley. I want to say that this semester has truly been challenging for me in many aspects, from facing financial issues, housing instability, and ongoing health concerns. It really helped me when I knew that I could turn to my IVC community to help me during these difficult times. And like I know that my story is not different than many other students that face these issues. IVC has shown me that it is more than just an academic institution. It's also my home. I couldn't be more happy ending this semester knowing that I have such amazing support. As for ASIVC, I would like to recognize our events committee for hosting many thoughtful and inclusive events throughout the semester in our first semester back on campus. Something to look forward to next semester, ASIVC will continue our advocacy efforts on initiatives of basic needs, support for our international students and our dreamers, first-generation students, and campus-wide sustainability efforts. And one final thing before I end my report, ASIVC will work on setting the foundation for putting a face onto our mascot, the laser. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing that. Next up is the IVC Academic Senate, Dan DeRolay.
Good evening, Chancellor Barnes and trustees and student trustee Abelos. Congratulations again to our re-elected and newly elected trustees, and congratulations to our officers, Jamal, Whit-Rydell, and Inman. I want to take just a moment to give special thanks to Trustee Milchiker for her unfailing support and unfailing presence at IVC events. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I must say that indeed, if I find myself attending an IVC event and Trustee Milchiker is not there, I check my own calendar to see if I'm there.
That's so sweet.
Speaking of events, I would like to invite you all to our President's opening session in Flex Week. We have a wonderful and important speaker, Dr. Tia Brown McNair. Dr. McNair is the Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Student Success at the American Association of Colleges and Universities and the author of 2 books, From Equity Walk to Equity Talk and Becoming a Student-Ready College, a topic of great interest. Her discussion at our Flex Week will be, Am I a Student-Ready Leader? Vision, Purpose, and Practice for Student Success. This event takes place on Tuesday, January 10th, 2023, from 2 to 4 p.m., a much more respectable time for an opening session. Thank you, Dr. Hernandez, for moving that from 8:30 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. Well, thank you anyway. And thank you so much, Board, for your hard work this year. I wish best wishes and peace to all of you for the holiday season, and also wishes for hope and a better year in the new year for us all and for your continued good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Let's hope for that. Next up is Heidi Ochoa, Saddleback College Academic Senate.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Congratulations to all of us who just rotated into new positions. How exciting. And I look forward to working with you in this next year. I just want to actually take a moment to really acknowledge that the students have spoken today. I think that them sharing their narratives for us is just another demonstration of the power of student advocacy. And I know how difficult it is to actually share your personal story in a context like this. And I tell you, you're usually thinking about it 3 to 4, maybe a week ahead of time. And then they may even go home and think about it some more, because that is quite a big risk to share those kinds of stories. So I wanted to acknowledge them in that moment. And hopefully we'll remember those stories when we're actually voting on that student housing application. A date that I want you to put in your calendar is Neurodiversity Day. It's January 12th. There's going to be a keynote speaker, and there will also be some faculty training for from a DSPS perspective, and then there will also be panels that are comprised of DSPS faculty, students, and personnel to review challenges and successes in that area. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. And now we are at the Faculty Association. Melanie Hayuri. Am I saying that right?
Totally.
Okay,
that was
good.
really good.
Okay,
There are so many vowels that most people don't get.
I didn't look at the screen, but I know you, so I'm like, okay.
That was really good.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Good evening, President Jamal, trustees, Chancellor Barnes, administrators, faculty, staff, and community members. On behalf of the Faculty Association, I would like to congratulate Trustee Rydell, Trustee Prendergast, and Trustee Milchiker on their reelection to the board. And Trustee Rydell, well done on a hard-fought race.
Thank you.
I would also like to congratulate the now trustee, Ryan Deck on his election win and welcome him to his new role as a Board of Trustee for our district. Welcome. We look forward to working with you, and we hope you find South Orange County Community College District welcoming and an exciting new home. Congratulations to all the board members on their new positions. And I would like to thank past President Milchiker for her service and work for the last few years as president. Thank you. As the semester draws to a close, this is the time when I would really like to acknowledge faculty. They're working long hours. They're diligently trying to draw this semester to a close. Final exams, grading essays, grading loads of papers, homework, meeting with students, compiling grades, and filling out all those end of semester forms, submitting the grades, preparing for the next semester, which rolls around in like 3 weeks or something really crazy, and everything that goes with that. We are honored to represent teachers, and especially those at this district, and I'm honored to continue to support them and making sure they have a respectful and supportive working environment to do the excellent work that they do. Students are stressed this time of year too, and it's quite a combination at the end of the year. This is the first semester in 25 years that I'm not grading final exams, and it's a totally different feeling. So, but I have not forgotten, and it's only been a semester, so I haven't forgotten. But it's such a striking difference that I wasn't grading papers. I want to wish everyone a great break and peace for everybody in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you so much. We're now on to IVC Classified Senate. Desiree Ortiz.
Thank you and good evening. Congratulations, everyone. Welcome, Trustee Deck. On behalf of both of our senates, we're going to give a joint report quickly, but we want to thank past President Milchiker for all your support and all of our senates. And I've had the honor and pleasure of working now with my partner in crime, because that's what we're doing. So we want to give a real quick update from both of us.
So our major update is on Classified Professional Development Day, March 22nd, 2023. We are so excited to bring it back post-COVID. Hooray. Crown Valley Community Center in Laguna Niguel will be the location. And we just wanted to, our theme will be caring for our campuses and our communities. We hope to have lots of great professional development as well as team building activities throughout the day. We're very excited to start the planning for that. We're hitting the ground running in January, right, Desiree?
Yes.
And we just wanted to extend a special thanks to the district and both college campuses for their support in helping us to develop this day.
And thank you all. We wish you all a wonderful, safe, and healthy holiday.
Yes, happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for yielding back 1.5 minutes. We appreciate that. All right. And next up, we have CSEA President Scott Ferguson Green.
Thank you, President Jamal, Board of Trustees, Dr. Barnes, Student Trustee Abelos. It's, as you know, this past weekend, Saddleback College hosted the CIF Championships. And in order for that to be a success with so many out-of-towners coming, to feel comfortable and have a good time at the championships, it takes a group effort. And as president of the classified professionals in this district, I wanted to acknowledge the classified professionals from the athletic department, from facilities, from CTVR, for helping make the out-of-towners have a good time for something that's so important. I feel very proud of the classified professionals. I'm working with the classified senates. I'm very proud of them for what they are doing, what they're planning, and the fact that we have so much to look forward to. I did want to acknowledge and congratulate the trustees who were reelected. I want to welcome Trustee Dack to the board, and I'm looking forward to the new year. I wanted to wish everyone the very happiest of the winter holidays, and hopefully 2023 will actually be something in which there's so much of the theme this time of the year, and that's peace on earth.
Well, thank you for that, Scott. And your reports reminded me that I should have acknowledged the reelection of Trustee Milchiker and Trustee Prendergast, so even though they had a different kind of election. But we can congratulate them nevertheless. All right, I think I have to entertain a motion to extend the meeting. Can someone make that motion?
So moved.
Motion from Trustee Inman. What is your motion? To extend to?
Extend till 9:30.
Motion to extend the meeting till 9:30. Second from Trustee Witt. And let's go ahead and vote. Motion to extend the meeting is approved by a 7-0 trustee yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. All right, I don't think there's anyone here from the Police Officers Association to deliver a report. Any requests for board reports? Nope. We don't have any public hearings on the agenda. We don't have any resolutions. We are now under 7.0, 7.1, Board Policy Revision for Review and Study. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Trustee Jay, second from Trustee Milchiker. Any questions? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries by a 7-0 yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. Now on to 7.2, Board Policy Revision for Approval. This is for final approval. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion from Trustee Prendergast,
I second it.
second from Trustee Jay. Any questions? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries by a 7-0 trustee yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. We've already done presentations, thank you. We advanced that, so we've completed 8.1. We're now into the consent calendar. Are there any trustees that wish to pull any of these items?
I'd like to pull 9.21. I just have a question.
Okay. Trustee Jay pulls 9.21. Any other pulls? Do you want to make can someone make
the
a?
balance of the consent
Trustee
calendar.
Prendergast moves the balance of the consent agenda items. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Second from Trustee Milchiker. Let's go ahead and vote. Balance of the consent calendar items are approved by a 7-0 vote and a student advisory yes vote. Trustee Jay on 9.21.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. There are 60 people for performing arts aids. I was just wondering, why so many performing arts aids, and are we having some special performances, productions in the theaters this coming spring?
Typically, because it's the beginning of a semester and we're prepping for beginning of the semester, these are all, if you look, there's a few of them that started in November, but the rest are for next semester. As far as additional productions, I can't speak to that. President?
I'm going to also presume that with an increase in our full schedule, almost to what we had prior to COVID, that hiring our NBUs as short-term temporary
Yes.
aides is really a way to have the staffing necessary to meet those production needs.
Okay, are we going to have more productions then?
Well, there's certainly more than what we had for last spring. If we even did a
okay.
comparison, let's say it's at the same, perhaps even board docket, because we were just gradually, at least at IVC, bringing back many of our in-person theater, performing arts performances.
Okay, and Saddleback, are they having more productions and theater productions?
Not that I'm aware of. About 10% of these are Saddleback, so I'm going to venture to guess that that is well within the range of normal aids that we would have for spring semester.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that. Do you want to move the item now?
So moved.
Motion from Trustee Jay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Trustee Milchiker. Let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries on a 7-0 trustee yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. Now on to business services. 10.1, beneficiary agreement, County of Orange, Saddleback College for American Rescue Act funding. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion from trustee Jay,
I'll second it.
second from trustee Milchker. Any questions on this item? Hearing none, let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries on a 7-0 trustee yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. 10.2, Saddleback College at ATEP Project Award of Bid.
So moved.
It's a motion from trustee Prendergast. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a second from trustee Milchker.
Great tip.
And are there any questions?
Oh, I have questions.
Trustee Jay.
Yes, I don't know if I want to vote for this. I've been up to the ATEP, the IVC building. I mean, I went up for the open house, and it was marvelous. It was great. They had so many wonderful, wonderful programs. And then I've been up before we had the IVC retreat up there, and that building is vacant. There's nothing there. I don't know if I want to vote to put Saddleback buildings up there until something's done with the ATEP building at the IVC ATEP building. It is absolutely vacant. It just breaks my heart from what I had seen before and what I expected. I'd like some more explanation about this, the Saddleback, what Saddleback's going to do and what IVC's going to do about their ATEP building. What's happening is just, as I said, it breaks my heart.
Thank you, trustee. Please.
Why don't we let you, two presidents, address that?
Sure, and
right
thank
now.
you for the question, trustee Jay. I obviously do not want to and cannot address anything regarding the IDEA building, so I'll let President Hernandez address that. But let me address the need that exists for new facilities for Saddleback College. So the two large programs that are moving out there are culinary and
I know
auto
that.
tech. So in both cases, we are building facilities that replace facilities on our campus that can no longer sustain those programs. Culinary, I think you've been out to see our culinary. It sits in a portable, it sits in a trailer. So a program with 153 students, 153 FTS is in a trailer. It cannot accommodate that number of students, let alone grow in the future. So we need to replace culinary and bring it into the future and give it larger facilities. Let me talk about auto tech next, and then I'll talk about why we decided to go out to ATEP as we presented to you back in July of 2019. So auto tech is in very nice facilities, I will admit that readily. And if we had an existing fossil fuel program that was going to continue into the future, that would be a perfectly acceptable, sustainable facility. Unfortunately, to meet the demands of a training program for electronic vehicles and autonomous vehicles, the bays need to be larger and equipped with different infrastructure to support equipment that, for instance, measures and repairs sensors and cameras. So the design for auto tech out at ATEP is completely different than the auto tech facility that we have today. And with new state mandates that have occurred in the last couple of years, and with the change to EVs and autonomous vehicles, unfortunately, we built a facility some years ago that really is not sustainable over the long haul. And for that reason, replacement of both of these facilities appeared in our facilities master plan that you all have approved. In July of 2019, I presented to you the first time, 6 months into my own tenure, a new plan for developing these programs out at ATEP that took advantage of new industry partnerships that we could get out there. And if we built those facilities on our own campus, which you have the power to tell us to do, would not give us the educational percentage of square feet that we need to offer leaseholds to other clients, commercial clients out at ATEP. Recall that there are certain thresholds that have to be met in educational square footage before we can ground lease commercial square footage. Even queued right now are tenants that depend on our square footage in educational space for those leases to go forward. So to talk about reversing this at this point has huge domino effects all the way down the road, and I'll let Vice Chancellor Gable address those. But for our part, we believe that we need new facilities. We have partnerships that we're working on not only with industry, but with other colleges that have similar programs, not immediately in the region, but at some distance from the region that don't have facilities that are going to be equipped for the future like ours. So we're talking about facilities rentals and partnerships to work and become a regional center, both for culinary and for auto tech, because those are new programs, very different than what we have today, and they need new facilities, and the best place to build them is out at ATEP. So, Dr. Hernandez.
Is there going to be a lot for the electric cars then? Because basically what I understand, there's not going to be enough electricity And there, I mean, let's face it, last summer, there was, when people were using their air conditioners, I heard on the radio, do not charge your electric cars. My brother-in-law is an electrical engineer, and there's just not enough electricity to sustain all these, quote, electrical cars that are going to be driving around, especially in South Orange County.
Trustee Jay, I am not an expert on the grid or the capacity of the grid, and we would need somebody a lot smarter than me to answer that question. I will tell you that what is in my purview is to figure out where our program needs to go for the future, and I'm looking at mandates that says we're no longer going to manufacture fossil fuel vehicles a decade from now. So we absolutely have to train people to support EVs and autonomous vehicles, or the people that are out there right now, including some of the people we've trained, will be obsolete, let alone people that we would train in the future. So we have to move to where the mandates are going to tell us and hope that there are powerful and very smart people who are going to figure out how to catch the grid up to the EV mandates that already exist.
Can I, just one thing, before President Hernandez speaks, just one thing I wanted to emphasize that President Stern mentioned. As you know, we have to have about 50% of business industry leases and 50% educational leases. And we actually need, because we have been planning for the last several years to have Saddleback's facility there, and so we need that educational square footage in order to proceed with some of the industry leases that we have, in particular Advantech. So it's a domino effect. We don't proceed with the Saddleback project, we also lose an industry partner with Advantech.
And we have a lot of industry partners now.
We're working on industry partners, but I have to tell you that that is dependent upon building a facility because the industry partners are close to Tustin, not necessarily close to where we are. So yes, we have industry partners, but some of the most important partnerships, as I mentioned before, are actually with other colleges that are not prepared to retrain service techs in autonomous and electronic vehicle support. And we're trying to figure out how to partner with those folks to become a regional training facility, not just partnered with industry, but partnered with other higher ed entities.
Okay.
Trustee Jay, thank you for that question. It is an important question that we've
Yeah,
been
it breaks
asking
my heart
ourselves.
to go out there and see that
And I've been-
absolutely gorgeous
Absolutely.
building.
It is an incredible
Facility.
facility, and it is a shell that is anxiously awaiting re-envisioning of what it could be. The School of Integrated Design, Engineering, and Automation has 5 programs housed in that facility. It has the Design, Model Making, and Rapid Prototyping program. It has Drafting Technology, Electrical Technology, Electronic Technology, and Pre-Engineering. Those programs have not been returning to in-person instruction at the same rate as the main campus. This semester, the main campus is about 49% in person. The courses offered at IDEA this semester are only 10% in person, 10% hybrid, and 80% online. For the spring semester, we're seeing a more gradual shift. So in-person instruction is moving from 10 to 17, hybrid from 10 to 26%. For example, the engineering core classes that have been predominantly online are going to be hybrid with 1 day of in-person instruction and then continued synchronous online. Our engineering students have, because of the complexity of many of those lectures, really appreciate and have valued those recordings that they can go back and listen to time and time again. And then our online presence is moving from 80 to 57%. So it's no wonder that this semester, if any of us who have been to IDEA building, it has felt like a ghost town, primarily because much of that instruction has taken longer to return in person than we've seen on the main campus. However, let me just say, and go back to the issue of re-envisioning CTE at IVC. That is a conversation that we have started. The Chancellor knows it's in my my goals, my personal goals. I have shared that with the campus community at opening day in the fall. And that includes IDEA, frankly. We have 5 programs. We have much more space and much more room to grow and develop. I've tasked our new Vice President of Instruction, Rick Miranda, to work with our CTE faculty. He has shared with me that he has been meeting individually with all our CTE faculty. In fact, I think he has his last set of meetings tomorrow. And part of that is to really encourage and empower our CTE faculty to think creatively in expanding new programs. It's no secret, and I've said this over and over again on our campus, that I am particularly interested in seeing short-term, industry-driven certificates, particularly that help retrain our workforce. I am particularly interested in focusing on adult learners, especially in that Tustin area that I believe has untapped potential. I think many of those adult learners are probably currently going to Rancho Santiago for non-credit short-term needs. And so the reality is that in the last year and a half, in the midst of COVID, probably hasn't been the ideal time to have those conversations, but we have begun them with earnest and intentionality. I also wanted to mention that we're looking at, for example, in the coming fall semester, offering additional classes for engineering students at IDEA, so that, for example, the pre-engineering sequence classes, including math and physics, can also be taken at IDEA, so that we're creating a cohort model. We're going to explore potential partnerships. We already have 2 that we need to follow up and see if they're even going to proceed with Cal State Fullerton. I also believe there may be some synergy with the Saddleback College Auto program, whether it's in the design model making, computer-aided design, and I am very open to also revisiting what we had originally had a conversation on, and that is the shared space at IDEA that both college students could use. For example, a student shared space, a support service function, and so forth. So it's going to take us a little bit of time. I ask for your patience. That has been one of probably the most frustrating areas that I've had to encounter at IVC. I think it would be very unfair to hold that against this Saddleback College proposed building. It's just my personal opinion, with all due respect. But I do want to just thank you for the question, because it's a very important question. And as I said, we're embarking on those conversations in earnest and with intentionality.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can we ask Vice Chancellor Gable to shed some light kind of on the monetary and kind of contractual implications?
Yes, because I had a few questions, and one of them was to provide us the financial implications. What are we being asked to approve tonight? How much? And then I have a suggestion. But go ahead.
Okay, so I guess to answer your question on what we're being asked to approve, tonight we are being asked to approve the construction contract with Swinnerton Builders for $53.6 million. We're also being asked to approve on item 10.3, the geotechnical testing and inspection consultant services agreement with Smith Emery Laboratories for $417,936. And then lastly, we're asking to have the board approve the DSA inspection services agreement with the Anaheim Group in the amount of $495,900, and that's item 10.4. I would say collectively, the ATEP project, as President Stern mentioned, has been many years in the making. The budget for the program was originally established back in April of 2020 when we did when we were working on the facilities master plan. It was revised with the finalization of the facilities master plan. So we do have the budget of $80,597,426 for the entire project. And that budget is still holding firm. The contracts that are moving forward tonight are within that budget. So we do not need to increase the budget to cover any of these 3 contracts. We have already funded through basic aid funds in the last 3 years. We put money towards this project in 2020 and 21 and also in 2022. So we have over 44 million that has already been funded. We still need to fund about $33.4 million, and we have that planned out in our cash flow statement that we'll be bringing forward in both 23-24 and 24-25 for funding. And so if you recall, when we did our facilities master plan, we kind of shifted gears and we're funding our projects on a cash flow basis based upon the timing of when that cash is needed. And this project is one of those projects that have been on there. We awarded the architectural agreement back in June of 2020. They've done the design, we've gone to DSA, we have the plans, now we've gone to bid, and that's where we are with you tonight, is asking for approval to award the bid.
Okay. I had another thought, but I want to ask other trustees if you had questions.
Yes, my
Trustee
question.
Inman.
Thanks. My question is simply, perhaps it's time for us to have a tour of ATEP. We've toured Irvine Valley and Saddleback, and there's always, the opportunity to do that again. But since I've been on, we haven't really gone to ATEP as a group. That might be a really interesting thing to do, to, seeing diagrams and plots and so forth, but to see the real thing with experts might be very helpful for all of us.
Agreed. So this is a tough one. I think Trustee Jay raised a lot of really good points, and I appreciate President Stern, President Fernandez, your remarks. I think to your point, John, that you don't want to hold, something against Saddleback for, past mistakes that were made. But I mean, this is a lot of money we're about to approve here, and the idea building has not manifested itself. We know that. Whether it was, prior administration's fault, chancellor's fault, our fault as the board, I don't know, a combination. But it has not worked. And it was not, even though it's a very important program, it was not supposed to be, ESL programs were not supposed to be at the ID building. I was there for the ribbon cutting when Dean Washington was there from, UC Irvine. We had a big splash. There was all sorts of activity going on in the building. You show up the next week and it was crickets. So we can't have that happen again. So I know you've made the motion. I mean, we're kind of in what I would like to see, just hearing all this, is, some kind of a written plan, an operation plan, a business plan, that what's going to happen at this building. I remember when this issue came up at the board for the idea building. I remember asking the IVC administration, well, what's going to go in the idea building? And what we were told was going to go in didn't happen. And I know it's not your fault, John. I mean, you weren't here. We had special meetings. We had an all-day session. The College of the Future. We invited Orange County Business Council, other leading groups to sit there all day and listen to what we were going to do. And there were supposed to be follow-ups and plans, and nothing happened. I didn't say nothing. Some things happened, but the follow-up never happened because I was in touch with some of those groups. So, can we continue this 1 month, and then can we get some kind of written plan? I know you've told us orally, but that's going to make us more confident that these buildings are going to be filled with students, because we're talking about 2 buildings, right?
No, just one building.
Just one building.
Oh, okay,
Just Saddleback building.
right.
But it said 2 buildings.
It's like 2 buildings. There's like a covered patio in between the 2. In essence, it kind of is 2 buildings, but it's the way it's planned as one project.
mean, I didn't make the motion, he may not even be
But, I mean, the
accepted,
two
but-
buildings are so succinctly different. That's why you have two buildings. You have
Yeah.
one that's focused for culinary arts and
So
hospitality.
there are two buildings.
There are two buildings with a covered patio in between the two of them. So there are two buildings connected by
One roof.
overhang.
And just one comment too, and maybe Vice Chancellor Gable, you can shed some light on it. Right now, we have a bid, construction bid, that will expire, and then time is money. And so if we have to go out to bid again, what we're seeing is escalation already. So I think you crunched some numbers for us.
What are those numbers?
So currently in the construction industry, as with everything, it is increasing 2% per month. So the bid is good until February 8th of 2023. So we are kind of on a tight timeline. I suppose if you wanted to defer this until January, we could defer it to January. We would have to let all the contractors know and hope that they don't decide to pull out, because when we went out to bid, we told them that we were anticipating taking it to the board in December with a notice to proceed at the beginning of January. So this would put them off a whole month, which could impact their schedule and their teams that they have set up to do the construction. But their bid, they're supposed to hold their prices until February 8th, but they could pull out potentially.
What about this? I mean, just, now I'm thinking out loud. If we go ahead and approve the item, but then attach to it a friendly motion that at the next board meeting, there is a written report presented to the board of what's going to take place at the two towers or the two buildings, and you know, some kind of greater assurances that we with some facts and evidence that we're going to have students in these buildings when it's completed. I mean, if we can't do that, then we shouldn't move forward with it.
Well, I just want to make sure we can satisfy the nature of the report you're describing. So maybe if you work with the chancellor, we'll
Okay.
work on getting you that information. I do want to say, Trustee Jamal, the schematics, which Trustee Inman made reference to, if we go out to the site, they actually show, in terms of what's going there is no choice. These are very specialized labs for these programs, so no one can pull a switcheroo down the road. But in terms of enrollments, we can make projections and show the financials for how the FTS.
And I think that's what we'd want to see.
Yep.
Some kind of enrollment projection,
Yep, we can do that.
right? Then you guys agree? No?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'll work with you? Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. I think we go ahead and vote. The motion is agreed to with 5 yes votes, 2 abstentions, and a student advisory yes vote. We're now on to 10.3, award of geotechnical testing and inspection at the same site, Talbot College at ATEP.
Move approval.
Motion by trustee Milchiker. Is there a second?
A second it.
Second from trustee Inman. Are there any questions on this item? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Yeah, in a minute. So the motion carries by five yes votes, 2 abstentions, and a student advisory yes vote. Let me do one more item, Carolyn, and then we'll get to it. Let's go to 10.4, the award of DSA inspection services agreement for Saddleback College at ATEP.
Move approval.
Motion from trustee Milchiker. Second. Second from trustee Prendergast. Any questions? Let's go ahead and vote. The motion carries, 5 yes votes, 2 abstentions, and a student advisory yes vote. Let's finish out this section. Business services, last item is 10.5, Irvine Valley College Library Outdoor Patio Cafe Interior Improvements.
Move approval. Sounds nice.
Second.
Motion from trustee Milchiker, a second from trustee Jay. Any questions? Let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries on a 7-0 yes vote and a student advisory yes vote. Now we probably need one more motion to extend the meeting. Who wants to do that?
Okay, I'll make a motion to extend the meeting till 10 o'clock. Hopefully, we won't need it that long.
Okay, motion from trustee Milchiker to extend the meeting till 10 PM. Is there a second?
I second it.
Second from trustee Jay. Let's go. No questions. Go ahead and vote. Motion carries on a 7-0 yes vote, student advisory yes vote. Okay. We're now on to HR 11.1, academic employees, academic classified administrator, manager, personnel items. Any updates?
I have two readouts, two contracts. The acting dean of the Student Health Center at Saddleback, Dr. Diana Lerner. Contract dates are January 3rd, 2023 through May 31st of 2023. The range is 22, step 3. Salary is $153,705, and that's a 80% contract that's prorated. The second position is the director of the Health and Wellness Center at IVC. The employee name is Ruby. Can you help me with that one? Via Vicencio. Contract dates December 12th, 2022 through June 30th of 2024. Range 18, step 4. The annual salary is $165,252.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So we have a motion.
So moved.
Motion from trustee Jay.
Second?
Second from trustee Milchiker. Any questions? Let's vote. The motion carries on a 7-0 trustee yes vote and a student does not vote on HR items. So a 7-0 trustee yes vote.
I can remember that.
Next up is classified personnel actions, 11.2. No changes?
Move
No
approval.
changes.
Motion from trustee Milchiker.
Second.
Second from trustee Jay. Any questions?
Get through.
Let's go ahead and vote. The motion carries by a 7-0 trustee yes vote. 11.3, sabbatical leave rescindment.
Move approval.
Motion from
Second.
motion from trustee Milchiker, second from trustee Jay. Any questions?
Already asked about it.
Let's go ahead and vote. The motion carries on a 7-0 trustee yes vote. Now on to 12.0. 12 point, we don't have any. Thank you, Chris. We have no items. We're now on to information items. List of board requested reports. I don't think there's anything there. Staff response to public comments. Saddleback College and IVC speakers. The facilities plan status report. The monthly financial status report. The higher education, HERF monthly summary, and the retiree OPEB trust fund. And we have written reports from the administration and governance groups. I encourage everyone to read those. And it's not in the agenda, but I think it's time for, do you want to say something?
Quickly. It's the end of the year, so I'd be remiss to not just recognize what an amazing place our district and colleges are. It's beautiful. I just want to thank the students, the staff, the faculty, the administration, the board, for making this the best place to work and learn. It's beautiful, and I just wish everyone a very restful holiday.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
It is in the agenda.
Great. Did you have the in memoriam?
Oh, no, I'm not done yet.
Okay,
We got a few more.
I just want to make sure you have it.
It said written reports, but we're in oral reports.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chancellor, for that. Let's go to IVC President. Any oral report?
Yes, thank you, Trustee Jamal. I also want to congratulate those trustees that were reelected and extend a warm welcome to Trustee Deck. And we look forward to hosting you and providing a campus tour at IVC. Our director of our Health and Wellness Center, you just reviewed under personnel items, Ruby Villavicencio is actually here tonight. It's her first day. She actually asked if she could come to the meeting. So Ruby, I just want you to stand and be recognized, and we welcome your leadership to IVC. I just wanted, as we wrap up the term, just like Chancellor Barnes, I think it's so important that we recognize, validate, and thank our faculty, staff, and our management team as we have continuously increased our in-person instructional presence and our on-campus programming, as our community has fully reopened, meetings, conferences, events, as we all have readjusted to the rhythm and the pace of what it felt like prior to the pandemic. I want us to make sure we don't take for granted all of our meaningful accomplishments, the interactions and the community building that has occurred this past term. Also, I know that Dan DeRoulet provided the info on our opening day. I wanted to say that it is in person and live streamed so that those who are interested in hearing Dr. McNair can do so. And then also that our Spring 2023 Professional Development Week schedule is now available online. Quite a robust and diverse set of offerings for PD Week. So as we close, I do want to wish best wishes to our students as they round out the term with their finals, and also extend happy holidays to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez. Dr. Stern.
Thank you, President Jamal. Congratulations to all the trustees who were victorious in your elections, and welcome Trustee Dack. And also thank you for attending our gala before you even started your job. We noticed that and appreciated it. That was an important symbol of your engagement going forward, and we appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to the many people who never toot their own horn and talk about their own accomplishments in this room. They are the selfless individuals that support our students and support our community throughout the year, but especially during this time of year. In particular, I'd like to point out that our Fine Arts Department, FAMT, produces performances for the community and our students that are so robust that they are basically here all day and all night for several weeks. And we are extremely grateful that and grateful for that opportunity that they give our community and our students. I also want to highlight a couple of changes that were made this year that are so meaningful to us as a college in those performances. In particular, as has been pointed out, Dean Scott Farthing and the other conductors and faculty involved in Feast of Lights made a decision, a very brave decision, to move us in a more global and multicultural direction with the inclusion of a Spanish language song. That's very important to us as a college as we try to make sure we are walking the walk and not just talking the talk of diversity and inclusion. Similarly, Heidi Ochoa to my left made the decision, a very brave decision, to cast her own play in a way that highlighted diversity and otherness and gave new meaning to the Charles Schulz classic. These are small, brave changes that identify the changes that are happening at Saddleback College that we are very proud of. Not everyone will always appreciate or go along with these changes, but those changes are the right thing to do, especially this time of year, which is more than anything about diversity and inclusion and love and humanity. That is the core of our mission, and that is the core of the holiday season. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Vice Chancellor of Educational and Technology Services. Thank you for that. You've been good tonight with that. The proxy for our Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Kim Wittes.
I second the
All
Vice
right.
Chancellor. No
No
report.
report. Vice Chancellor of Business Services.
No report.
All right.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Well, we started out with such an exciting night with the national champion, or state champion and national champion soccer team. And now I have to, one of the bad things about being board president, and we're going to end on some sad notes here. We will adjourn tonight's meeting in honor of two former Saddleback College employees, Al Brightbill and Daniel Lincoln, and one Irvine Valley College alum, Linda Purdy. Al Brightbill served as the Saddleback College Music Department Chair from 1975 to 2004 and conducted his first Feast of Lights in 1982. He was well known for his powerful tenor voice and graced the stage at many Saddleback College commencement ceremonies. As a Saddleback College faculty leader, Al also served several terms as academic senate president. He is survived by his two children, Hans and Heidi, and wife, Juanita, who is also an associate faculty member at Saddleback College in the music department through 2019. Daniel Lincoln was a Saddleback College police officer who worked for the department from 1991 to 2011. Dan was beloved by his peers in the Saddleback College community. He was affectionately referred to as Dan the Gadget Man. That's great. as he loved all types of gadgets and would bring them on campus to show off. Dan is survived by his wife, Deborah, who was also a Saddleback College police officer. And finally, Linda Purdy, Orange County native, a professional librarian and talented writer and teacher, died last month at the age of 78. Since the mid-1980s, she was a familiar presence at Irvine Valley College, whether in the classroom studying creative writing and photography or in the tutoring center where she was gifted as at assisting English language learners. Her work appeared many times through the decades in IVC's literary journal, The Ear, as well as other publications, including a special citation by the Smithsonian Institution. Our thoughts go out to all those who knew and loved Al, Dan, and Linda. And I'm sorry to end on this note. I'm glad we were able to recognize these three people. They mentioned The Ear. I've also started to read The Wall a little bit over the last week, and I encourage everyone to do that. It's just raw, and it's passionate, and it's just real. And so I thank everyone. Good night. Have a safe and happy and peaceful holiday. Thank you.